on the debit side, 2025 June the 30th. We write income tax, general journal, and our income tax amount that it's closed off to the appropriation account is 234,900. Then ordinary share dividends. General journal. That amount is the 99,000 interim dividends declared plus the 160,000 final dividends declared. 99,000 plus 160,000 gives us a total of 259,000 Rand. The retained income will be our balancing figure, as explained previously. Also general journal. The net profit is 870,000. So my main total here is 870,000. And that must equal the credit side. So on the credit side, 2025 June the 30th. Profit and loss account. General journal. $870,000. So to work out the balancing figure for the retained income, we take the 870,000 and we subtract our income tax and our ordinary share dividends, and then we get an amount of 376,100. You then take this balancing figure and complete the retained income account. 1.4.2, complete the missing information in the notes of the statement of financial position or balance sheet on 30 June 2025. 165,000 shares in issue at the start of the year amounts to 874,500 Rand. 15,000 shares are bought back during the year at an average issue price of 5.30 Rand. So we subtract 79,500 Rand. Remember, when we subtract something, we put it in brackets. And the 79,500 we calculated by taking the 15,000 shares times 5 Rand 30. $50,000 shares is issued during the year. At 6 Rand 34. That gives a total of 317,000 Rand. $200,000 shares are in issue at the end of the year with a total of 1,112,000 Rand. B, retained earnings. Retained earnings at the beginning of the year, 265,000 Rand. Net profit after tax for the year is 635,100. To calculate this amount, it's the 870,000 Rand net profit times by 73%. Retained earnings on shares bought back. We bought back 15,000 shares at 60 cents per share. It's the difference that we take. 15,000 at 60 cents gives us a total of 9,000. This amount we will subtract. Dividends, an interim dividend was paid and declared 99,000 Rand. And a final dividend of 160,000 Rand. That gives us a total of 259,000, which we subtract. Retained earnings at the end of the year amounts to 632,100. $1.4.3, calculate the average issue price per share on 30 June 2025. So you would take your ordinary share capital at the end of the year and divide by the ordinary shares at the end of the year. So to do this calculation, we will take 1,112,000 Rand and we will divide by 200,000 ordinary shares. And that gives us 5 Rand 56 cents per share. $1.4.4, comment on the dividend payment policy. Do you think that the dividend declaration of the current year was a wise financial decision? Provide figures to support your answer. Only 259,000 Rand of the available net income after tax of 635,100 Rand was declared as a dividend to shareholders. The dividends were less than the available profit after tax, which means that the company retained some of their profits as retained income to be used to expand the business by buying new assets. The net asset value of the shares will increase, and investors buying shares to sell at a later stage at a higher value will be satisfied. Investors buying shares to gain an income through dividends might be less satisfied, as they would have preferred a higher dividend. Calculate the total owner's equity on 30 June. Our ordinary share capital amounted to 1,112,000 Rand. The retained earnings amounted to 632,100. So the total ordinary owner's equity would be 1,744,100 Rand. Exercise 1.5. The following information is taken from the books of Thor Limited, a public company. On 30 June 2024 and 30 June 2025, the end of the respective financial years. Required 1.5.1. Complete the open accounts in the general ledger of Thor Limited. 1.5.2. Calculate the correct net profit before tax by reconstructing the appropriation account from the given information. 1.5.3. Calculate the issue price per share for the new shares. Information. Number 1. Balances taken from post-closing trial balances of the 2 years ending 30 June. Ordinary share capital, retained earnings, SARS income tax, shareholders for dividends. And the amounts included in the table as follows. 2025, 792,000 Rand. 2024, 270,000 Rand. Retained earnings, 153,550, 18,900 for year 2024. SARS income tax credit balance in 2025, 9,050 Rand. In 2024, debit balance, 13,400 Rand. Shareholders for dividends, 2025 figures need to be calculated, and 2024, 22,500 Rand. Number 2, the dividends owing to shareholders were fully paid on 10 July 2024. The outstanding amount relating to SARS was received on 12 July 2024. Number 3, on 30 June 2024, there were 50,000 issued shares. On 1 September 2024, a further 90,000 shares were issued. Number 4, on 1 August 2024, an interim dividend of 25 cents per share was declared. The EFTs for the dividends to the shareholders were made on 1 October 2024. 5, provisional income tax payments to SARS were as follows. On the 2nd of January 2025, 44,800 Rand. 28 June 2025, 56,400 Rand. 6, the board declared a final dividend of 36 cents per issued share on 30 June 2025. Of this, 5 cents per share was immediately paid to the shareholders. The rest will be paid fully settled on 20 July 2025. General Ledger of Thor Limited. We are going to complete the SARS income tax account. On the debit side, we'll have an opening balance of 13,400 Rand. So on the debit side, 2024, July the 1st. Balance brought forward. 13,400. This was paid to SARS on the 12th of July, so on the credit side, 2024, July the 12th. Bank. Cash receipts journal. So SARS paid it over to the company. So the company received 13,400 Rand on the 12th of July. Now both sides of the ledger account is square. Then on the 2nd of January in year 2025, a first provisional payment was made. So on the debit side, 2025, January. The second. Bank CPJ. And the company paid over 44,800 Rand. Then on the 28th of June, the company paid another 56,400. So on the debit side, June 28th. Bank cash payments journal. And the amount 56,400. Then 2025 June the 30th, the income tax for the year amounts to 110,250. Now we got that by also taking the end balance into account. So according to information 1, we have a credit balance of 9,050 Rand in 2025. So on the debit side, we are going to say 2025 June the 30th. Balance carried over. R90,050. To give us a main total of 110,250. credit side. 110,250. So 2025 June the 30th. Income tax. General journal. $110,250. On the credit side, July the 1st balance brought forward $9,050.